Hey class! Today we are doing graphing review. In this unit we have learned three different methods of to graph a line. Sorry. So the first one is using a table of values. The second one is when we use the slope and y-intercept. That was the y equals mx plus b. And then the third one is when we had the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. So remember, when you're finding the x-intercept, y equals 0. And when you're looking for the y-intercept, x equals 0. Okay, so let's do a little review. So the first one, using table of values. So it says use a table of values to graph each relation. Use different colors, please. So this first one, okay. So we have our x. I'll draw my line. And then we have our value, or our equation, negative 2x minus 4. And you'll have our what y equals. And then we'll have our x and y coordinate. So we're going to go from negative 2 all the way to positive 2. Okay, so here, wherever we have our x, we are plugging it into x. So it's negative 2 times negative 2, and then minus 4. So negative 2 times negative 2 gives us positive 4, and 4 take away 4 is 0. So our first point is negative 2 and 0. Oops, I don't know why I was putting a 2 there. And 0. Okay, and let's put that point on. So x is negative 2. So remember, this is x going this way, and 0. So put a dot. The next one, when x is negative 1, so negative 2 times negative 1 minus 4. So negative 2 times negative 1 gives us positive 2. 2 minus 4 gives us negative 2. So the next point, when x is negative 1, y equals negative 2. Let's put our point. So x is negative 1, y is negative 2. Put our point. Next one, x is 0. So negative 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 4 is minus 4. So when x is 0, y is negative 4. So x is 0, y is negative 4. Put your dot. Second last one, negative 2 times 1 gives me negative 2. Negative 2 take away another 4 gives me negative 6. So when x is 1, y is negative 6. So x is 1, y is negative 6. And last one, negative 2 times positive 2 gives me negative 4. Negative 4 minus 4 gives me negative 8. So when x is 2, y is negative 8. And that would be around here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to do a straight line. You guys are using rulers. That actually wasn't terrible. Okay, so that's our first line. That one is A. So I'll put a little A right here. Okay, now we'll go to B. So we have 1/3 x minus y equals negative 2. So one sec. Okay, so ignore this right now. We're going to rewrite this equation because we have to change it so it says y equals. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to move this y over to this side, and I'm going to move this 2 over to this side. So you're left with 1/3 x. The 2, when you move it over, turns to a negative 2. Then put your equal sign, and then the y, the negative y, when you bring it over, turns to a positive y. So this is our new equation, and that's where this came into play. So I was just trying to save some time, so I put the same chart here as I did here for you. Okay, so we're going to use different numbers this time. I'm going to give you negative 6 as our first one. So it's going to be 1/3 times -6. Okay, and we're doing these numbers right here because it makes it a little bit easier when you have a dividing by 3 number, because 6 divides by 3, 3 divides by 3. Okay, so I'm going to pick some easier numbers like that. So 1/3 times -6 gives me -2, and I'll just show you right here on our calculator. Okay, so 1 divided by 3 equals, and then times 6 negative gives us -2. Okay, so that's where that came from. So -2 take away 2 gives me -4. So when x is -6, y is -4. So my first one, x is -6 and y is -4. Putting a dot. Next one, we're going to use -3. So 1/3 times -3 gives me -1. Okay, and I won't go over all of them, just the first couple. 1 divided by 3 equals, and times it by 3 negative gives me -1. Okay, so we have -1, take away 2 gives me -3. Oh, -1, sorry, minus 2 gives me -3. Almost forgot how to count. So my points are -3 and -3. Okay, so when x is -3, y is -3. Put a dot. Next one, good old 0. 1/3 times 0 is 0. 0 take away 2 is -2. So when x is 0, y is -2. Now we'll do +3. So, oops. 1/3 times 3 is 1. And 1 minus 2 gives me -1. So when x is 3, y is -1. So when x, oh, I forgot to plot my 0. 0 and -2, sorry. So next one, when x is 3, y is -1. And last one, +6. So 1/3 times +6 is +2. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So when x is 6, y is 0. So when x is 6, y is 0. Put a dot. So now we're going to join these. Remember, you are using a ruler. I'm trying my best. Okay, not bad. Not good, but not bad. Okay, and this one is B. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So method 2 was slope y-intercept method. Okay, so this is when we have to figure everything out. So remember our formula. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so the first one, my slope, I look at my m, so it's -1/4. And then, so that means I'm going down 1, because remember it's x over y, so x is down because it's negative, and then my y is +4, so it's going to the right. Then I look at my y-intercept, and my y-intercept is +3. So if you were putting it as a point, that means x was 0 and y is 3. Oh, I don't know why I put a bracket around there, sorry. Okay, so if you were to plot it, here's my y-intercept right here, +3, and then I can go down 1 and over 4. So for my slope, down 1 and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, put a dot. Right here, put a dot. Okay? So I could go down 1 over 4 again. 1, 2, 3, it'd be over here. I could do the opposite, up 1, then over 4 negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'll just try my best to join this. Oh, that one was really not good. Let's go like that. Makes it look like I'm more on the line. Okay, so that was for my A. And now we'll do B. So right now it's not in y equals mx plus b form, so we have to change it. So I'm going to bring this 2 over to the other side, okay? Because you can have mx plus b equals y as long as you have it y equals in some shape or form. So I'm going to have 4x plus 10 equals positive 2y. I'm now making that y positive, okay? Now to solve for y, I have to divide by the number in front, so I have to divide by 2. And if I do it to 1, I have to do it to all. So 4 divided by 2 gives me 2x. Positive 10 divided by 2 gives me positive 5. 2 divided by 2 gives me 1y. And that's the same thing as saying y equals mx plus b. It's just in the reverse order. Okay, so now let's fill it in. My slope is my number in front of my x, so that is a 2. So that means it's 2 over 1 because there's no number. So that means I'm going, up 2 and over 1 positive. And then my b is plus 5. And if you were writing it as a point, that means x was 0 and y is 5. Okay, so you always plot your y-intercept first. So x is 0, y is 5 is up here. Okay, and then my slope, I'm going up 2 and over 1. Okay, I can go down 2 over 1. Because remember, 2 negatives make a positive, down 2 over 1 negative. Okay, and I will line these up as best I can. And that is your line B. Okay, next. One second. Okay, so next one is find the x and y intercepts to graph the relation. So for the first one, I'm going to have my x intercept, and that means that y equals 0. And then I'm going to have my y-intercept, and that means that x equals 0. So for the first one, with x-intercept, we have negative 3x equals negative 12, and that's because y, 6 times y is 0. Okay, so we don't even have to have that anymore. So in order to solve for x, you have to divide by the number in front. If you do it on one side, you do it to the other. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives you x. 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. So my first point here, x is 4, y is 0. So x is 4, y is 0. Put a dot. The second one, for y-intercept, we're going to set x to 0. So negative 3 times 0 is 0. So we just have 6y equals negative 12. Now to solve for x, you have to divide, or y, you have to divide by the number in front. If you do it on one side, you do it to the other. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we have 1y. And then negative 6 divided by, negative 12 divided by 6 gives me negative 2. So x is 0, y is negative 2. So let's put this dot. X is 0, y is negative 2. Okay? And then connect these with your ruler. Oh, I'm getting pretty good on that angle. Okay? And that is my A. Now we're going to do the second one. So I'm going to have my x-intercept, and that means y is 0. And then I'm going to have my y-intercept, and that means x is 0. So same thing. We'll start with the x-intercept. So I'm going to have 2x But instead of minus 5y, that's 0. And then I'm going to have just my